Hey guys, welcome back. It has been quite a while. I did a bit of filming last year, but I didn't do any YouTube tutorials at all. I've decided to get back into it this year. I don't know, I've had a fair few people emailing me or messaging me saying they'd like to see some more videos, and I've kind of missed it, so sort of looking forward to doing it again. Hopefully I can do a weekly update if I can. I get a bit lazy with it. I have too much editing on most of the time. But I think the last time I spoke with you guys was the last time my video went up would have been 2023. I don't think I did any videos 2024. Back then, I think I was still shooting on the Canon 90D with the Sigma 120-300 2.8. And also, I think it was the 7D Mark II, which I still have both those cameras, but I've upgraded twice since then. So I did do a video a little while back with the new updates. One of them was, I got rid of the Sigma 120-300 and I swapped it out and got myself the 400 2.8. And I must say, I'm in love with this lens. It is the IS version, the first one that came out, so it's a heavy bastard. But you know what, you're shooting on a monopod all the time anyway, so you don't really notice the weight when you're on a monopod. It's only when you're carrying it around. So I got that. I then got the R6 Mark II and a Canon 1DX. So majority of last season I was shooting with the 1DX, and all I can say is it's a workhorse. I don't think I'd sell it for anything, so I'll always keep that, whether it be a main shooter or a backup or whatever. At the moment I'm still using it as a main shooter, but we'll get to that. So I ended up getting rid of the R6 Mark II, which I did like. Obviously those cameras come with, if you use the I think it's the mechanical shutter and electronic shutter, and it does have first curtain. I normally just went with mechanical or electronic. Now I did electronic, and you can get up to, I think it's 40 frames per second, which is way more than what I need. Between I reckon 12 and 20 is good for bursts and whatnot. Anyway, I got rid of the R6 Mark II because I seen a better deal coming out at the time, so I got rid of it and I upgraded to two R5s. So now I'm shooting, one's here filming me. There's one R5. This is the second R5 with the battery grip, and I still shoot with the 1DX. So at the moment, I've done a lot of testing. I've shot on the R5 quite a fair bit. Electronic shutter, to me, is no good. Maybe for a different sport. I shoot football most of the time, and every time you use electronic, it just warps the ball. The only thing with electronic is there's no sound at all. So you see like an outline inside the viewfinder. So every click, it'll just sort of flash. And when you're shooting 20 frames per second, it's very hard to count what you're up to. So sometimes you can overdo it with those. So anyway, I went back to mechanical shutter with these. I get 12 frames per second, and I'm shooting this off the 70-200. The reason I do that is because the 70-200 is a Series 2, and I can get the 12 frames per second. I can't get 12 frames per second mechanical with the first version of the 400 because it's an older model and it doesn't allow it. So I'm only, I think it's 5 or 7 frames per second. So I have to, if I do use this on the 400, I have to shoot electronic, and there's too much shutter lag. Or rolling shutter, sorry. There's just too much rolling shutter, and the ball just warps bad. So hence the reason I went back to the 1DX for the 400, because it is sharp as a tack. Yes, it doesn't have the 40 megapixel, but I don't really need it. I'm not always zooming the other end constantly. And the 7200, this is good enough. I can shoot the 12 frames with that with the 7200, and I shoot the 12 frames per second with the 400 on this. So I'm getting more than enough of my range. Now, let's move on. We've just done round 1 of the New South Wales NPL, National Premier League. Round 1 just kicked off. So I missed a lot of majority of last season, which was unfortunate, because I got to shoot the grand final, which was between Rockdale Ilinden versus Marconi. I got to the grand final. I got to shoot that. I got to shoot the women's in the women's NPL and the men's NPL, and that was at Combank Stadium at Parramatta. And we've now moved on, and here we are back in this 2025 season. Just shot round 1 last week, which was Rockdale, which was last year's minor premiers, and they just went. They versed St George City FC. What I did like was some new signings from both sides. Both sides, Rockdale again showed that they're going to be a tough team again this year. I think they were down 2-0 and doing what they do best. They come back in the second half. But what St George City did show was, they're going to be a team to look out for this year, because they've got a lot of power going on in that team at the moment. But anyway, it's round 1. It's early, but I'm looking forward to it. I've got another game this weekend coming up, which is, once again, I'll be shooting Rockdale again. I think it's a 7:30 kickoff, so I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, let's get through this. I've been to the game for the Friday for round 1. I've shot the game. We're going to post it up now. I'll go through some flicks, just post up some settings. What I shot, it was a 2-2 draw. It was a tough game. It was Rockdale's home game at Rockdale Ilinden Sports Centre. And yeah, it rained the old time, so I didn't get to film a lot. But for what I did do, we'll just hopefully break it down and you can see it. And then, yeah, look forward to it. So it should be a very big year. Anyway, thanks for watching. We've got another one I'll be filming this week. And then, we'll hopefully bring in some more things to talk about at each game we go to. But anyway, until then.
Ready? Cheers guys, good luck.
That's it.